Hi, I'm the Recruiting Maven and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic of conversation is how to find clarity in your career. With that said, I just want to say a quick thank you for those of you who like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I deeply appreciate your kind support. For those of you who are new to my channel, I have an ever-growing playlist with career tips and advice, so make sure you check that out. And if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do so and hit that notification bell. With that said, we normally talk about the fourth industrial revolution on this channel and what that's going to mean to you and your job, or the long and short term of it all. However, I wanted to talk to you really about a process that has really helped me and helped other people recently. I wanted to share that with you. It is a process. This is not 5 quick tips, you're in and you're out. So if you're looking for that kind of a video, this is not it. We're going to be sitting down, grabbing ourselves a cup of coffee. So that's your cue to get a coffee or tea or whatever beverage it is of your liking. And come right back, sit down with something to write on. I will be covering the 2-step process with a real-life example so that you can follow easily and then apply it to your particular situation, as well as I will include my biggest tip in overcoming blocks in your career. So stay tuned for that at the end. So I wanted to start off by letting you know that for me in this process, it really helps to write things down manually. I actually do keep a digital copy, and that's really my final draft, if you will. But for the process, I would suggest you write it down. Unless you have objections to that, then by all means grab your tablet, your laptop, whatever you want to use in order to go through this exercise. Okay, so I have my water because I always drink a ton of water and espresso all day long. So if you like espresso, we could probably be best friends. Plus it keeps me awake most of the time anyway. Okay, so let's start with the first portion of the process, and this is what I like to call the brain dump. And it's just going to be you jotting down very specific words, not sentences. It's not a dissertation. This is not a test. But I want you to, whatever comes to mind is what I just simply want you to write. So here's the example to go along with this process. Now, we were in a general coaching session. There was quite a lot of us, and one of the coaches decided to volunteer because she was very frustrated. At the beginning of the year, she wrote her New Year's resolutions, and she was feeling really good about it. And by January 18th, nothing had happened. She didn't get anywhere. Now, her objective was to get up an hour early every single day so that she can prepare for her daily work. And I will say, in addition, it wasn't just for the daily work, it's also reviewing her weekly calendar and her monthly calendar. One of the bigger issues she was having towards the end of last year, and I know a lot of us had a lot of challenges, but in particular, since she had kids at home, she wanted to make sure she was staying on top of things, and she felt things were kind of getting away from her. And so her way of dealing with that issue, so it wouldn't block her from moving forward and getting those projects done and addressing any issues in terms of management, whatever was on her plate, that she would be able to feel more organized, more balanced, more centered, and more confident in approaching her week, feeling that she really had a good grip on what she needed to do. So the top 3 items that she actually came up with, and she did a lot of writing, by the way, but I'm just going to share with you the top 3 was cold. She said, it's kind of cold when I get out from under the covers in the morning, so that kind of prevented me from getting up. The other word was tired. And the third one was stress. And just as a sidebar, stress in its purest form, I know this is going to come as a shock to you, but it essentially is something that you really don't want to do. Maybe you don't like that person at work. Maybe you don't want to work with that person. Maybe they're just, they're kind of slow, or maybe they're too fast. It's all these dynamics. Maybe you don't like the project. So many issues that come across, and maybe you just simply don't like the place that you work. And so the bottom line, though, when we say that we're stressed about work, we really need to understand what that stress is. So that could be an exercise in and of itself, but I just want you to know that stress at its core is just something that you just really don't want to do. There's no way of sugarcoating that. So with that understanding, because I think that most of us walk around unconsciously saying, I'm stressed, and I'm stressed, and we don't really understand what's stressing us. So please be careful with those words. Try and catch yourself before you say that, and especially in front of other people at work, because some people tend to be tattletales, let's be honest, and you don't want that getting around. So try and maybe just have a little bit of a journal at work, and whatever it is that you're feeling that may be negative, just write it down, and then maybe later on you can look at it, especially in relation to stress, okay? What happened next is that we actually reversed what she was writing. So we said to her, well, what would be the benefit of you not getting up an hour early in the morning? She was just kind of taken aback because she didn't expect that. And I'm going to read this to you because these are not my answers, and it was a lengthy coaching session. So, and you will find that all of that just kind of comes full circle as well. So it's important to read these to you in the order that she wrote them and how she came to the conclusion. So, okay, so first on her list came the fact that she felt serenity, and we thought, oh, that's kind of unexpected, but that's a nice thing to have, a little bit of serenity. I think we all enjoy that. And she said, yeah, but I'm still not happy that I'm not getting up and getting organized with my day. The other thing was she on occasion said she would create a to-do list, but it wasn't one in relation to work in particular. It could have been just a to-do list about anything. Groceries, whatever it is, pick up the kids, yada yada. So other one is that she also felt peace and more calm, and therefore she was able to think with some clarity, and creativity started to come back as well, and that was something that she also noticed. And ultimately she said, I actually don't have any time to be alone throughout my day. The weeks just kind of blend into each other. And because everyone's home and working from home, or there's homeschooling and everything else that's going on, I literally don't have any time to be by myself. Let me just stop you there, because, sometimes it's so easy to say, I'm lazy, I'm not disciplined. You're not disciplined enough. You should be then getting up 2 hours earlier than you should be. And it's like, wait a minute, let's not become extremists. Let's take a step back, and this exercise will help you to do that, because I think if you get down to the core of what's bothering you, what's blocking you, what's preventing you in achieving that particular goal in your career, and even though this is a simple one, but it's still a very important one for her, you're moving out in a positive direction, and this isn't just about somebody yelling at you that you're so lazy. And we already have some of those inner dialogues that constantly judge ourselves, what we're doing, what we're not doing. You should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. And oftentimes it just seems insurmountable. And so I want you to just calm down, write it out in this format that I'm giving you. And that's what really, that last piece just kind of opened that whole issue wide open and said, I really could use that hour by myself. And this is going to be something positive for me. And those goals that I was trying to reach for, being more centered, being more organized, having more clarity in my mind by organizing my calendar, all of a sudden I'm going to get that back, because now I'll feel more confident. I will be more organized in my thoughts because I'll have that peace. My mind will be clear, as getting rid of some of the things and having that moment of serenity. And she thought that was such a groundbreaking thought, and we certainly didn't expect to be there, but there you have it. It's sometimes what we think we should be doing and how we should be doing, and that we're not disciplined, and all those things that we hear ongoing may not be the reason why you're not doing what you should be doing. And so be kind to yourself. Now, I want to caution you, because a couple things. One is, if you haven't found the reasoning behind why you're not achieving that goal of getting up in the morning, as an example that we've been using, then go back to step one and do more brain dumping. Like, want to ask yourself, tell me more, why are you not getting up in the morning? And you can have a host of other reasons why, and then go back and do the benefits of not getting up. And at some point you're going to get it. You're going to find that. Now, the other thing I wanted to caution you on is that if you go to somebody else, and I know a lot of people are well-intentioned, they're always, I know a lot of people are always very kind and trying to help and support, but if you yourself don't know why you're not doing what you should be doing, they're not going to know all these underlying issues. You're like an onion when it comes to that emotional reasoning that comes with this process. They don't know that. You're peeling layer after layer of that onion as to getting down to the core of what's really triggering you to not act. As opposed to, again, you're being lazy, you're not disciplined, which is what you normally hear. And so that person doesn't have that information, right? And I would say if you want to share a lot of that personal information, maybe you do have somebody at work that you can, but just proceed with caution on that realm. But that person ultimately will not know how to prescribe a good solution for you 9 times out of 10 because they don't know, again, those underlying issues that's causing you not to get up early in the morning. So although they're well-intended, you've gone to them for help, they may not have the solution. Okay, and if you're still here for my last tip, and really my ultimate tip, here it is. A lot of times we walk around saying, I can't do this and I can't do that. I know I used to be one of those people, and there was one particular situation I used to say to myself, I can't sell. I'm an introvert. I know I'm an introvert. What I can say to you is that if you change that I can't and add yet, but I will, it's going to flip that inner dialogue that you're having. So for me, it was, I can't sell. I'm not a salesperson. I've never gotten up and said, gosh, I want to be a salesperson. I don't know too many people that would want to do that necessarily, and most of us are not natural salespeople. I would say that most of us are just not sales driven. That's not our forte. And so what I started to say to myself on an ongoing basis was, well, I can't sell as yet, but I will. And I would say this to myself every time I would hear myself saying, you can't sell. You can't sell. And I got to tell you, recruitment is selling. You're selling the job opportunity. You're selling to the hiring manager your candidacy. And I'm selling you the benefits of working for the company or the job or the benefits of the culture. So I'm selling you on all those points. There's a lot more points than that, I know. I would walk around like, okay, I've just became a recruiter and I can't sell. And so I would say this to myself, I can't sell as yet, but I will. And eventually decided that taking a sales course would help me. And of course, anything that you do to upskill yourself, it's always great. And so for me, it wasn't upskilling, it was acquiring new skill set. And you would think that that's a given, but for somebody who's not sales driven or sales minded, that just really, it just didn't occur to me. And so, I would caution you again, just peeling those layers sometimes is going to be helpful to you. And it's not going to be as insurmountable as you really think to be able to resolve that issue. And so for me, just that one little issue that was just nagging me to say, I can't sell as yet, but I will, really changed everything. And so that is my ultimate tip for you in overcoming blocks in your career. Now, of course, you can apply this to anywhere else in your life and even help to teach your children to do this. I mean, I don't know anyone who could benefit. Now, is this the ultimate solution for all your, I hate to say this, but problems, issues, challenges? No, of course not. But this is something that you can have in your toolbox for resolving issues. And so it's never a bad thing. It's always nice to have options at the end of the day. So I do hope that you have found this helpful. It is certainly meant to do that. I deeply appreciate your kind support, and I will see you in my next video. Take care and have a lovely rest of your day.